Hello, and welcome to Tavern Chat. This is the more or less daily, sometimes twice a day, uh, web series slash podcast. The podcast has been lagging behind, and listen, even the blog has actually missed posts, so it's just been that kind of a. It was that kind of a June. I'm hopefully going to catch up now that we're solidly in July. So today, I thought we would look at real quick looks at some Kickstarters that are out that are certainly old school. That are every one of them was a great project. I am not going in any particular order. You see Hyperborea up on the screen now. Hyperborea used to be known as Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. Now we're simply going with Hyperborea because it's a lot easier to say, I guess, than Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea to say Hyperborea. Hyperborea 3rd edition. Now, Jeff Talanian, he does great work. It feels like, I guess, a sword and sorcery hack of 1st edition. But Jeff just does an amazing job. There's a great support with this for the adventures that are out there. As you can see, it's been an expensive week in Kickstarter for me. I am backing at 225 because and I'm probably gonna hear something from behind me. All right, I didn't. She's distracted. This is the signed and numbered foil stamped leatherette copies of the player's manual and the ref's manual. It's broken down this time. Again, I can't say enough about Jeff. We're gonna have Jeff on, Mike and I, later on this month. He'll probably be able to answer questions about Hyperborea. It is a game that I have yet to run. That's nobody's fault but my own. But I have the 1st edition, which was a box set, the 2nd edition, which was a hardback, and I will shortly, I believe by the end of the year is the plan. Yes, December 2021, I will shortly have the 3rd edition of Hyperborea in my grubby hands. So, you can support Jeff on that one. Now, Jeff had a goal of 20,000. He is at nearly 86,000. He's got 29 days to go, and I don't think Jeff goes too crazy on his stretch goals. Because really, crazy stretch goals are they're a bane and a boom. I know they get more backers, but and we can go into this, I guess, on another episode. The dangers of stretch goals for Kickstarters. I've touched on them, but he does have some a bookmark at 25. There you go. Illustrated end papers. There you go. Satin ribbon bookmark at 60. So I'm sure there are more stretch goals. None of these stretch goals are going to break the bank because there is, as you sell more, and I'm sure Jeff has figured the math out on this. As a publisher, your per copy costs go down. So you can add little extras in, and you aren't going to break your bank. Again, like I said, no particular order. Adventures Dark and Deep, Book of Lost Lore and Book of Lost Beasts. This is from BRW Games. Joe Block, otherwise known as the Greyhawk Grognard. Adventures Dark and Deep is Joe's retro clone. It's pretty much, if you remember the old Marvel comics, the What Ifs, I used to love the What Ifs. Wasn't a big Marvel comic fan, but I used to love the What If series because you could just hop in and it was great. This is pretty much a What If Gary hadn't been ousted and had gone along with his ideas for what 2nd edition should have been. Joe did some great research on it. His retro clone is solid, and it's a great resource if you're playing other retro clones, other OSR games. So, a Book of Lost Lore, Book of Lost Beasts. Book of Lost Beasts is pretty much self-explanatory. It's new creatures, right? And it'll work easily, as Joe says, with 1st edition, Castle Crusade, Swords and Wizardry, Labyrinth Lord, or similar games. The Lost Lore includes new classes, new skill system, weather rules, a lot more. It's modular. You pick and choose what you want. You can, if it doesn't fit into what you want in your campaign, you just don't pick it. Now, great difference in pricing. There were less expensive options than the option I opted for on Jeff's, by the way. way. Both books in print with PDF copies are $30. However, that's $30 plus the cost because you're getting a coupon to buy these at cost from drive-thru when they are ready, and you can pay shipping. So your end cost is probably I don't know, $55, $60 around that. My math isn't good. Joe saying to a print copy of the books at cost is estimated $18 plus shipping. So yeah, I'm going to say probably around that $55 area if in the U.S. Joe does simply good work, and this also allows you to pay some now. It's like paying installment plans when you do print on demand. So, stepping on, this one is doing hugely. DCC Dying Earth. So that's Jack Vance's setting where Ion Stones and some of the spells from D&D, even the magic system in the in AD&D and D&D really comes from the memorize, fire, and forget, basically. I never read the books. I know. Cardinal Sin for the Appendix N. This is from Joe Goodman Games. The goal was 20,000. It's at 192 plus with nearly 2,000 backers. It's just got under 3 weeks to go. You get a lot from Joe and company. The Brinkmans, I believe, are the project managers on this. I'm in for 110, which gives me the DCC Dying Earth box set plus modules and print, and you get the PDF copies. PDF copies are the copies I read in bed. So I don't like PDF at the table. I prefer print at the table. But for bedtime reading or vacation reading, where you don't want to carry all these books with you, you put them all into your tablet, your iPad. I wouldn't advise reading on your phone, but in any case, it's great portability to have the PDF version. You don't have to hop in at 110, but again, that's where I hopped in, and I'm happy. I've yet to get a project from Goodman Games that hasn't been of the highest quality, and I will admit I don't run DCC anymore. I haven't run it in years, but I will take their material and run it with Swords and Wizardry. I convert on the fly. I think any halfway good DM can do that stuff with most of the OSR games, although DCC does kind of walk its own path. And last, certainly not least, I think it just launched yesterday, today, maybe today. It literally just launched. Back to Basics, the 10-issue compilation, 216 pages. This is a short Kickstarter. Okay, so if you're going to be pissing around saying, well, let me wait for my paycheck to come in, you've only got 7 days on this one. Tom Wilson does amazing work. I believe I have all the Back to Basics issues in the original print versions, but I'm buying the compilation anyhow, because God knows I am a disorganized fuck, and I could not find them as a complete collection if I tried. The goal was 1,000. He's beyond 9,333 backers. Again, 7 days to go. Back to Basics is a great OSR zine. I'm very glad to see that he's taken this and put it into a compilation. So how much? If you want it digitally, it's $10. If you want it in print, a hardcover copy is $20. If you want it in print, along with being signed, it is $30. So, oh, look at that. See, this is literally just launched. I haven't even backed it yet. I will be backing at $30. Just so you all know. So those are my 4 recommendations. And as you can see, I've already backed 3 of them. The 4th one just released. So I'll be right on top of that. It's an expensive week for Kickstarters. The summer tends to be. And when can you expect to get this? September. So your wait is going to be very small. Back to Basics, especially if you're newer to the OSR, it's a great introduction to the OSR way of thinking. It's just high quality, pleasant, and easy on the eyes. So again, always come with my highest recommendations. And these aren't reviews because I haven't seen the products yet, right? But I know the creators, I know the publishers, and I know the work that they've done in the past, and I know the work that they will do in the future. So I can only give my highest recommendation. Folks, we're still in the midst of the world of the pandemic. So use your common sense. Okay? Keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. I'm not saying get immunized. I am. You have to make your own choices, your own decisions on that. All right? Talk to a medical professional. Tonight, July 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, live stream with Glenn Hallstrom and myself. We will have Jason Elliott of the second iteration of TSR, publisher of Gygax magazine, of Top Secret New World Order. We will go over some of what's going on right now. There'll be some questions he probably can't answer. If I can answer questions that he can't, I will certainly attempt to do so. What we always, our live streams are driven by our live audience, and you guys have been awesome and great. What else? He'll be announcing a new project. So you get it here first, folks. Get it here first. So I'll be back again tonight, 8 p.m. Be here or be square. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. And laters. Be good, folks.